everybody, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys everything that I learned as a result of tuning into round 2 of the FIDE candidates tournament, guys. This was an absolutely great day of chess, and I'm going to kick things off with this game, Fabiano versus Anish Giri, okay, in round 2 of the FIDE candidates tournament. I think that Fabiano put on yet again another absolute masterclass of a chess game. As we already know, in round 1, he absolutely dominated Hikaru with the white pieces, and as a Catalan player myself, I learned a lot of different strategic and positional ideas that I could take along with me in my Catalan games as a result of watching him play with the white pieces yesterday. And then today, he shows us how to defend with the black pieces against the Catalan. So guys, if you ever need to learn how to defend with the black pieces against Catalan players, check out this game. Fabiano literally gives us a blueprint on how to defend against the Catalan with the black pieces. And yesterday, he showed us how to gain a winning attack with the white pieces playing Catalan. He had this Catalan bishop, and he just performed a brutal light square attack on Hikaru's king, and Hikaru had no answer for Fabiano's light squared attack yesterday, guys. So I was just so impressed by yet another Fabiano game, because in this game, he uses the black pieces to defend so well against the Catalan, and I'm going to just use it as a tutorial for any time I play the Catalan. So far, guys, I am just very much impressed with Fabiano's play. Yesterday especially, it was just so inspiring, and then today, nothing short of amazing. Every move that Fabi makes is with profound purpose and to improve his position, both strategically and positionally, okay, guys? So let's kick things off. I'm just going to kind of go through the moves really quickly. In round 1, I kind of literally broke down every move and my thought process with every move between him and Hikaru. I'm not going to do that for today's video because this game does go on to end in a draw. I was just very impressed, and anybody out there who plays the Catalan or who sees the Catalan a lot and wants to know how to defend it, study this game, because Fabiano literally gives us a masterclass on how to defend against the Catalan. Okay, guys, so obviously they get into their opening moves here, and like I said, White gets into a Catalan after the move G3, and Fabi's into a Queen's Gambit decline, and they go forward with their moves, and they just play some excellent chess. I thought rook to B8 was an interesting idea, right? Because we've seen how Hikaru kept his rook on A8 for quite a while, and Fabiano had this diagonal going on for pretty much so much of the opening and into the middle game. So that was interesting to see Fabiano move his rook over as a response to that Catalan bishop. Yeah, they're just playing the development moves, and Anish Giri played quite well as well. Like I said, he's playing the Catalan, and he plays the game well, and everything goes on, guys. So if you haven't checked out the game, check it out. Like I said, this is not meant for me to make an analysis at every single point. This is just for me to give my major takeaway, which is with this game, I learned how to defend against the Catalan with the black pieces. I think Fabiano did an excellent job. Knight F5 was a good move, and yeah, guys, this was just an excellent game from both parties. Black's gonna cut the queen here. Obviously, White's gonna cut back, and then Fabi plays rook at F to D8, and you know, Fabi has not fallen into any trouble out of this opening. I've seen him play the cleanest defense of the Catalan that I've seen yet. Hikaru also played against the Catalan today, and Hikaru's game was not this clean. Look at how safe his king is. Look at his dominance in the center of the board. This bishop has no play on nothing. Like, he's just showing us how to defend against the Catalan. He does an excellent job, and I was just very impressed once again with Fabiano's play. And I gotta say, guys, the more and more I watch him this tournament, I was under the impression that maybe the tournament can go to whoever has the best tournament play, but it looks to me like Fabi is probably definitely, looking like a clear favorite to win this tournament. But anyway, then after the queen trade, Fabi, of course, is going to play the move rook to D8, because I'm not going to let you take the foul. Why would I let you take the foul? You can't have the foul. And that's the strategic moves that Fabi plays. Nobody can get a real advantage, but even Anish knows I'm not just going to let you take the foul. So Anish plays rook at F to D1, and of course, they trade rooks here, and then Fabi makes the move king to F8. And when Fabi made the move king to F8, I quickly tweeted out, with Fabi played king to F8 on move 23. We have an endgame, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving into an endgame. And I was very curious to see, will this just be a drawn game? But anyway, king to F8. And then White plays the move king to D6, and then Fabiano walks his king up. He plays the move rook to C6, and then Fabi takes the 5, and then Anish plays the move F4. Fabi plays the move rook to D6. Anish moves his rook forward, and then they just repeat the moves, right? And this game was drawn. It ended in a draw. So I just thought it was a solid game. A solid game from Fabi, a player who did not need a win. He didn't get into any trouble at the opening. He handled the Catalan. Like, he literally handled it. It was no problem for him at all. Unlike what we're going to see in the next game, where Hikaru has some problems out of the Catalan. So first, Fabi teaches us how to dominate with a Catalan-like position. He had that Catalan position in round 1, and he won the game with a brutal white squared attack against Hikaru pieces. He showed us that in round 1, and then in round 2, he shows us how to defend in a very, very solid and profound way against the Catalan. So Fabiano is playing some excellent chess. I haven't seen anybody outplay him yet, but of course we are in round 2, and we're going to see what goes down. But good for Fabi. He's 1.5 out of 2 points. He's starting off this tournament with the bang. He's doing a great job. Anish Giri, he scored his first half a point, so good for him as well, and I'm looking forward to continue to seeing him through the tournament. Yeah, I think Fabi's looking like a clear favorite, and everyone knows that Anish Giri is known to draw games, so I guess I should have known this was going to end in a draw. But a great game from Fabi once again, and even Anish too, right? He didn't have any losing position. So, great game for them guys. The second game that we're going to cover is the game between Hikaru himself versus Andre Esipenko, and we're going to go over this game and have a look at it. But I'm going to leave this video by saying I do not believe that either of these players will be the winners of the FIDE Candidates 2026. I don't think Hikaru is going to win the FIDE Candidates. I don't think that Andre Esipenko is going to win it. Hikaru was outplayed in the opening and into some parts of the middle game, but Esipenko acted like he didn't know what to do to close him out. He started making random moves that he didn't know how to close it out. So let's get through the opening. Esipenko start with the move c4, and we get the Catalan on the board, and we get the Queen's Gambit decline. So far, so good. These guys are just into opening moves, into their prep, I imagine. Okay, so far, nothing too bad going on. Hikaru plays the move Queen to b6. White develops his dark square bishop. Black develops his dark square bishop. Cut. And then White asks for a queen trade. Hikaru says no. And then in this position, I was wondering how would he develop this knight here. The computer is saying knight to a3, queen to c2. He plays the move knight to d2. Hikaru walks forward with his pawn foot here, the #1 engine move. In this position, I thought for sure that Esipenko would play something like rook at a to c1. White plays the move b3. Black develops his rook. And then White plays the move knight to c4. He cuts on c4. White cuts on c4. Hikaru plays this random move that doesn't do much for his position, like a move like e5, right? And e5, I wasn't sure really what that did for his position, but that's what he played. Then White, of course, developed his last piece, and then Hikaru cuts. And I'm like, Hikaru, what? You just gonna give him the file? You just gonna give him the file? Now White has an active piece in the center of the board. And what you gonna do about it? I mean, you could challenge him, but if you put that there, take, and then you pick up a pawn, so that doesn't work. I'm like, why would he cut there? What does the computer have to say about that? Yeah, I was right. I'm like, why would he take this piece? You just gonna give him the open file? We just gonna give it to him? But that's what he played. When clearly I was thinking that he would double up on this file, something like rook here. You know what I mean? I thought he was going to look to, maybe double up on this file here or something like that. I didn't think he would just give him the file. Hikaru then makes the move a5, and I'm like, what is that for? You know what I mean? Does the computer recommend that? Maybe I'm missing something. No. What does a5 do for your position? Hikaru makes a lot of inaccuracies or a lot of moves that just don't do much. He plays the move a5, and I'm just like, why? You know what I mean? I'm just like, why? So to me, Hikaru is not even close to winning this tournament at all. He's probably trying to put all his pieces on dark squares, maybe put all his pawns on dark squares, but he's missing the whole. They're not in the end game yet. They're still in the middle game, and he's playing moves like a5 and giving up, these open files to White. So I thought for sure that White would have some winning chances, but then White, Esipenko, he leaves the open file. Hikaru plays the move rook to c8, and then Esipenko drops his queen back, and I'm just like, I don't think either of these players really know what they want to do to win this game. And Hikaru plays the move queen to c7. Hikaru, to me, it looks like he's just looking for tactics. It seems like Hikaru is just looking to get his tactics off. We already know he is the blitz king. He is about to do his thing, but as far as strategically and stuff, I see him make a lot of moves that's not strategically sound. So that was my major takeaway from this game, and that's why it ends in a draw. And after Hikaru puts his king on c7, white makes the move h4, which was the #1 computer recommended move, so I was like, that's a good find. And then Hikaru plays the move h6, and then white plays the move queen to e3. And in this position, I just sent out the tweet. I said, one thing I know for sure, Hikaru needs a win, but so does Esipenko. Looks to me like Esipenko had and has the advantage, but doesn't know what to do with it. This game will end in a draw or go to the player who is more lucky, but they're both making, you know, terrible mistakes. I don't think the winner of the Candidates 2026 will go to either player. I just think that they're both misplaying the position. Nobody is outplaying each other. Nobody is being completely accurate. You know what I mean? This is just, you know, like I said in the tweet, like I said, you know, this game is either going to be drawn or it's going to go to the player who's more lucky. But nobody is like dominating the opposition and outplaying them. This game goes on to be drawn. It's at least fun to understand who exactly is in this tournament, because again, I'm learning so much from watching this tournament. It's a very, very fun tournament to pay attention to and tune into and watch, because you just get to know players' styles, you get to know how they play, and you get to make your best guess, right? And right now, my best guess, I don't think either one of these guys will walk away with the Candidates 2026 tournament title. Okay, so yeah, guys, I'm going to close this out. Like I said, I'm going to be paying extra close attention tomorrow to pragg and weiyi. I watched her game. I watched the opening of their game, but I wasn't able to be as actively involved in their game. Tomorrow I'll be paying extra attention to pragg and weiyi, but I did catch like basically the ending of this game between Sindarov and Bluebaum, and I thought when I tuned in at this position, I thought the game was quite even. But then I seen Bluebaum start making some moves that were just absolutely not conducive to getting a winning position, and you know, like and he was at half a point, and Sindarov, maybe he was similar to Fabi, where he could afford to play for a draw. But you would have thought that Bluebaum would have tried to, you know, get some winning chances. But in this position, I thought it was, you know, I thought the position was quite even. And then Bluebaum makes an inaccuracy, a move like rook to f8, just a move that does absolutely nothing to strengthen his position. And even worse, he leaves the center. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that for him at all. And when he made that move, I said, okay, Sindarov may have some chances to push and win this game. Sindarov then pushed his g-pawn to g4. And then Bluebaum makes the move f5. And in this position, I'm like, okay, he could capture this, move his pieces, get them more centralized, move his rook into this open file here. But instead, he used his g-pawn and he took the h-pawn. And I'm like, what? That doesn't give you a real clear advantage. And actually, when Bluebaum made this move, rook to f8 and then g4, and then he played the move f5, I actually quickly sent out a post. I said, Bluebaum will lose this game, he just don't know it yet. But obviously, Sindarov let me down. Maybe he just wasn't playing for a win. Maybe a draw would suffice for him in this game, because like I said, he did come into this round with 1 point, and Bluebaum had 0. So maybe he was just playing for a draw. But this was the point in this game where I started to actually pay very, very close attention. But when I seen this move, rook to f8, I thought to myself, okay, white has some chances to kind of get a better position here. Immediately, Sindarov made the move g4, which was very, very fair. And then when he responded with f5, the better move is to take g captures f5, not g captures. G captures f5 give you a slight advantage, as you can see here. Not much, but it's a real advantage. You know what I mean? That's just not accurate, right? And then the knight takes back, and then Sindarov plays bishop to d2, developing this bishop to a better square, and they just go on to draw this game. I say I have my eyes on that guy, Fabiano. His games are just so amazing to me. I love it. They're just fun to watch. They're fun to watch. It's just fun to watch somebody play good, sound chess. Fun to watch. I got Anish Giri. Anish Giri, he's still in it. He's still in it. You know, his game against Fabi today, I didn't count him all the way out. To me, Hikaru is looking less and less likely to win this tournament. Let's be clear, I love Hikaru, but I don't see him as a clear favorite to win this tournament at all. And then Esipenko, because he had the advantage in that game with Hikaru, but it looked like he did not know what to do with his advantage. And even Hikaru mentioned that. And I think either in his stream after or in his after interview, where he just kind of said he looked tired, or it looked like Esipenko had no real plan. That's exactly what I thought. It looked like he had no real plan. So yeah, I don't think Hikaru wins this. I don't think Esipenko wins this. I pretty much have them crossed out. So far, guys, tomorrow we're going to be paying extra close attention to Weiyi and his competition against Fabi. I can't wait for this one. I think this will be a showdown. I'll be able to learn more about Weiyi as a player and just see more excellent chess from Fabi. I hope he keeps it up, and if he does, he'll win this tournament with flying colors. Or some players playing as solid as him, like a player like weiyi or pragg. So tomorrow I'll be paying a lot of attention to weiyi versus Fabi, Sindarov versus pragg, and I probably won't be paying too much attention to this Andre Esipenko and Bluebaum, because like I said, I don't see them winning this tournament. I will see you in the next video, and thank you so much for tuning into this one. Talk soon.